Guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to do a little get ready with me and we're going to chat about Disney, how our trip went and everything. So I'm going to start applying the makeup. I'm going to talk a little bit about the makeup, but this isn't a review of the makeup items. These are just a get ready with me. So let's get started. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and prime my face. So to prime my face, I'm going to be using my Tatcha primer. This primer is very expensive and I have used it several times now, actually more than several. I keep putting it back in the box. I don't know why I do that. Do you guys do that? You get something new and you put it back in the box just because you feel like it makes it more special, I guess. I don't know why I do that. So here's what it looks like. It's just this little pan. And then it does look like this when you open it. As you can tell, I have been using it. So what you want to do with this, you want to hold on to this little, it looks like a little coin. You want to hold on to the little coin and you want to hold it so that there's like a little ridge on here. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but there's a ridge. You want to hold it so that the ridge, the smallest part, is to the bottom. And then you're going to run that through your Tatcha primer. And you're just going to take it up to the ridge. And then that is enough primer. That's all you'll need. So you put this on your finger. And then it says to warm it up a little bit between your fingers. And then you're just going to apply it in an upwards motion is what it tells you to do. So I'm going to apply it in an upwards motion. Apply, apply, apply. It smells very almost citrusy, but not overly citrusy. So it smells good. Upwards motion. Gotta remember. That's the hard part for me, is to remember to go in the upwards motion. Okay, so our Disney trip was really, really great. I loved Disney. I can tell you there's a few of the different parks that probably aren't my favorite. Like the Hollywood Studios, I felt like it was a little bit boring, to be honest with you, because there was just not much to do. There was just a lot of like sightseeing, I guess. So that wasn't my favorite. My favorite out of all of them, to be honest with you, was Epcot. Epcot is absolutely amazing. And there's not much to do there either, but there's just so many different countries and everything where you can go eat the different foods. Oh my gosh, the foods were so amazing. I know, like, I'm a major foodie, so I was enjoying that very much so, because we had some German food, we had some Moroccan food, we had Mexican food. We didn't eat all this at one time, obviously, so we went back to Epcot a couple times because we had the park hopper. So we really like that. I like Magic Kingdom, but it was so chaotic. Magic Kingdom, even at this time of year, it was very chaotic. It was so busy, busy, busy. But that was beautiful. Like everything there was so, like you're in like a magical land. It's just beautiful. I love it there. So there's what the primer looks like. It does give me a little bit of a white cast. Nothing major, but I mean, you can tell my skin obviously looks more pale now than it did before I put the primer on. And it's not because I'm putting too much, because I'm using the amount that they're recommending. So that's not what it is. It's just that it does give you a little bit of a white cast. But it sinks in almost effortlessly, the stuff does. I mean, not really, because you saw me kind of like pushing it in, because it's a thicker cream. It's very, very thick. And it's supposed to like fill your pores and things. I don't really see where it does much of pore filling, other than over here where I do have a lot of acne scarring going on. It does help to fill it in a lot there. So that's good about that. As far as longevity, does it make my makeup last longer? Yeah, it actually does. It actually really does do that. I feel like it really does help to make my makeup stay on for longer. It's just really pricey. So for me right now, I don't know that I can recommend it. So I'm going to continue to use it before I do my complete review on it, because you guys, as you know, I like to do thorough reviews before I tell you guys, hey, this is good or this is bad. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with the next step, and we'll continue to talk about Disney. So like I said, we really liked Epcot because Epcot just had so much food that you could eat on. Like I said, I'm a foodie. We went to this one Mexican restaurant, and it was, like, I don't know, like, it was set up almost like, oh, by the way, I'm putting on the Cover FX, the Custom Enhancer Drops, and this is in the shade Celestial. So I put these on underneath my foundation, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, girl, you wait. It's going to look like, I'm going to look like Tin Man here in a second. But it really does make a big difference when I put my makeup on. So let's finish rubbing this in. I got it everywhere now. Alright, so, but anyway, the restaurant is set up kind of like you're in Mexico. It's just so beautiful. We have visited Mexico before, and it was beautiful. I love Mexico. We're planning to go back soon. Do you see what I mean? I look like Tin Man now. I look like the Tin Man. But the reason why I do this, it's not a primer. It's just something to help give myself some illumination, because my skin is so severely dry with the winter being here, like in full force. So, and I didn't bring anything to wipe my hands off with. Hang on. Maybe I'll have something down here. Yep, I do. Good thing I always keep these here. So anyway, it just gives you a lot of illumination underneath your makeup. You're not going to tell all this once I put makeup on. You're not going to see all this glowiness. So the next thing I'm going to do is mix my foundations. I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Warm Nude. And then also the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place. And this is in the shade Desert Beige. Desert Beige is a little light for me. Warm Nude's a little dark for me. And not only that, Estee Lauder Double Wear is very, very almost drying on my skin, I feel like. But if I combine it with the Too Faced Born This Way, it's just magic. Like, it works so well together. I kind of put like a pump on here from something else that I hijacked off a product. So I'm going to do 1 pump of the Estee Lauder. So there's the 1 pump of that. And then 1 pump of the Too Faced Born This Way. And then we're going to blend those together. And it tends to give me the best color, as long as I didn't accidentally push too hard on a pump or anything. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work. So I'm just going to put that all over. All over. So anyway, the restaurant is set up like Mexico. Like, you sit at these tables and like behind where you're sitting at to eat, there's like this mountain scenery, and it has like a volcano that's like the whole time is trying to erupt. It was just beautiful. I love that. The plane ride down was a little bit scary for me. I don't like planes, so I panicked a little bit. I did have some medicine with me to help prevent any kind of anxiety issues, but thankfully I was able to manage the whole entire trip without taking that specific one. So that was just it's not really one that I use on the daily. It's more one that I was just going to use for just that trip specifically, because I knew that I'm scared of flying. I'm afraid of heights. So, but once we got in the air, I was fine. And then actually I was able to scoot over and sit at the window seat. I switched seats with my husband and sat at the window seat and looked at everything. It was beautiful. So, conquering my fears, one fear at a time, right? That's what we have to do in life. We have to conquer our fears. So, do you see what I mean? Like, my skin looks very illuminated now. It just looks so good. I look very pale right now, but I think that's a lot to do with my new hair color that I'm still not enjoying. Don't love this hair color whatsoever. Not at all. Okay. So then what else? Okay, so the Mexican restaurant is a must. You must go check that restaurant out if you go to Epcot. It's so cool. Universal, I'd have to say, was our favorite thing to go to, especially like the Harry Potter area. Oh my gosh, I loved Harry Potter. The butterbeer, that was like the biggest thing I was most excited about, believe it or not. And butterbeer, we like looked up the recipe for it. And butterbeer is basically cream soda and melted Werther's and cream soda, melted Werther's, butter. I don't remember what else it is, but I'm supposed to make that for my son because he fell in love with it too. He thought it was like really delicious. So I'm sure it's not very healthy, but he thought it was delicious. I'm laying my little beauty blender on my new little thing that I picked up in Epcot actually. So this is the little leaf that I picked up in Japan. My beauty blender needs to be replaced. Do you see where it's falling apart? It's got like a big old chunk taken out of it. I hate when I have to throw a beauty blender away because like they're so expensive. Like a beauty blender is 20 bucks and it's like, wow, there goes 20 bucks. There it goes down the drain. And that I think just happened from me like squeezing it when I wash it. So unfortunately. Okay, so now my foundation is on. I think maybe my light might be turned up a little bright. Let's see if we can, there we go. That might be better. Is that better? Hopefully. I think my light might have been a little bit bright. I was trying to compensate because it's pretty dark outside. Like we've been getting some random weather, so yeah, that looks a little bit better. I'm not so differentiated between the colors now. Hopefully it's not too dark now either. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So I'm going to work on my eyes. I'm going to be using the Morphe palette. This is the Morphe Jewel Crew 9C palette. So it looks like this. I have used this several times. I love this palette as well. This is a really, really great palette. It looks like this. I need to grab one more item for it though. Hang on one second. You guys, I'm not even dressed for the day yet, so I'm still in my yoga pants, and here we go. This is what I needed. I need the Wet n Wild, the Creme Brulee. This works really well with that palette because I feel like there's not like a matte color that I can use to set down as my base color. Even though I probably don't need it because I forgot the actual eye primer I'm using today is the Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford Eye Primer, the Eye Primer Duo. So it does come with a cream product on the bottom, and then the top is a powder. So I'll show you how this works. So the cream product you just put on, like basically how I do my Mac Painterly paint pot, which I feel like it's very similar to that, but the Mac Painterly paint pot I feel like is a little bit thicker. That could be too because mine's getting pretty old. I've had mine for quite a while now, so, which is a good, I mean, that's a good thing because I mean, I'm using it and it's still working. It's just that I feel like it might be a little bit thicker than this. And this still has really good coverage though, because even with it being thin, it's still got pretty good coverage. So what I like to do is just kind of put it on with my fingers at first. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just kind of make sure that I've got it all blended out really well. So I like to use my ring finger anytime I'm doing anything around my eyes, because your ring finger has the least amount of pressure in it, so it's not going to damage your eyes. Or at least it's not going to damage them as badly as some of your other fingers, I guess. So now I'm just going to tap to make sure that it's pressed in really well. So that's done. And then I'm going to set it with the little setting powder that comes on the top of the Tom Ford little set here. So I'm going to grab this right here. And this is just a brush. It's like who makes this one? This is Moda. So this is Royal and Langnickel. So this is the Royal Langnickel brush. So I'm just going to tap into here. And I have been using this plenty. I actually took it with me on our trip, which I was afraid to take it because I thought I'd break it, but I didn't. So it flew all the way to Florida with me and it was fine. So anyway, what else? So yes, so Universal is really, really nice. I loved Universal. Universal was really fun to go to, especially for someone who is a Harry Potter fan. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you're really going to love Universal, because I feel like there's just so much things that you'll see there at the studio, at the actual park, that you've seen in the movies that you're like, oh my gosh. Even when you go to the wizard shop, like they do this, they put on this cute little scene, like where they show you like the wands, how they're pulling down the wands and everything. It's fun. It was really fun. So that was very unique. I loved the Harry Potter. So now let's go into the Morphe palette. So here's what it looks like again. Let me grab my makeup brushes and move them over this way. So now I'm going to go in with this Morphe. This is the Morphe M441 brush. So I'm going to go in with that, and I'm just going to go in with Chocolate Diamonds very lightly. I'm going to tap it off, and I'm just going to start building into my crease. So food there absolutely was really good. It was pretty pricey. I mean, we traveled a lot by using an Uber. I recommend that if you do use Uber, that you make sure you ask them where the drop-off and pickups are, because evidently at different parks there are different Uber areas that you're supposed to be picked up at, because they're not typically where like the park, I mean not the park, but the taxis people can pick you up at, which is very odd to me. Especially at Disney Springs. When we went to Disney Springs, they were like making a huge big deal about where we were being picked up by Uber. They were like, no, you can't be picked up here. You have to go over in this direction because this is only for taxis. And we're like, what? Okay. So make sure you pay attention to that if you do use Uber, if you're going to be traveling to Disney while you're in Florida. But yeah, we really had a great time. It was so much fun. The hotel we stayed at, the first hotel we stayed at was at the, oh my gosh, what is it called? The Home 2. I think it's called the Home 2. So it's kind of like a little condo. So it's got your full kitchen and everything in it. So that was really nice. That way there we were able to kind of just relax and just chill in our room most of the time, because that's basically what we did after we do the park. Because believe me, after doing the park for 3 days in a row, which is what we did Universal one day and then at Disney for 2 days. We walked a total of 35 miles. By the time we would get back to our hotel, all we wanted to do was just rest. We were like, oh my gosh. Me, like a big dummy, I wore sandals the first day. We were walking around Universal and I wore sandals, and oh my gosh, my feet were so sore. I had blisters on the bottoms of my feet. I've never had blisters there. I've gotten blisters on my heels and things like that from tennis shoes and whatnot. But I literally had blisters on the bottoms of my feet from my sandals. So it was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next day, of course, because I had blisters, my feet hurt so bad. I'm like, oh no, we got more walking to do. This is going to be terrible. So I had to make sure I wore tennis shoes to help to cushion my sore feet. But I still, like I said, we still ended up walking for 35 miles total, which is what we walked between the 3 parks for 3 days, which I guess technically is not that bad, but it's still a lot. It's a lot of walking. So be prepared to walk when you go to the parks. I mean, that's something that I don't think my son was prepared to do, was all the walking that we had to do, because he was just like, can we get back to the hotel now? And we're like, no, buddy, we're here for a while, so it's okay. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go into Stone Fox. I feel like Stone Fox and Rocks Out are very similar, so I'm not sure why they needed both of those in here, but whatever, right? It's not my palette. I didn't make it. Just using it. So now I'm just going to put this more towards the eyelid area, but still in the crease. So I'm just going to blend that out very lightly. I still need to get dressed for the day, guys. I've been being lazy today. I've been having a very lazy day today. I've had sinus issues since we've gotten back from Florida, and I don't know if it's because of like the temperature changes or if it's just because there everything was in bloom. So we had a lot of pollen in the air, and here in Virginia there is nothing blooming right now. Well, no, that's not true. We do have some daffodils blooming, so that's really nice to see those coming up because Easter's right around the corner. Can't believe Easter is on April Fool's this year. Do you guys believe that? That's very interesting, I think, that we have Easter and April Fool's at the same time. It's very odd. So anyway, if you guys are planning a trip to Disney, I do recommend that you kind of plan your park, what you're gonna do out before you go, because we did that a little bit, but then we didn't really do it too much, and then like, I feel like we didn't get to see everything. But then again, I don't think you can possibly see everything at Disney in the time span that we spent at the different parks. I think we needed to spend longer there. So now the next thing I'm going to do is go into Fool's Gold. I'm going to go in and just use my finger. I'm going to go in right here, and I'm just going to tap that into the center here. Tap, tap, tap. Not going for anything super dramatic, just kind of, I guess, an easy look. I've been using my fingers a lot more lately with my makeup looks. I've noticed I've been using my fingers a lot more, and I used to be somebody who really didn't want to use my fingers with my makeup looks, but I find that your fingers really are beneficial tools when you're applying makeup to your eyes, especially. So I'm like, you know, you have them. They're the best tools you got, so why not use them? Okay, now I'm going to go into Rose Quartz down here. I'm going to go in with a small little brush here, just because I do have big fingers, so I can't really get in that area. So I'm going to go into Rose Quartz. I'm just going to dip my brush in, tap off just a little bit, and put that right in the inner portion here. And just kind of blend that into the gold. And do the same thing here on this side. And I'm also probably going to use that as my inner corner highlight, probably. Okay, so for now I'm going to stop on the eyes for just a minute. So yes, I'm not sure what all to tell you guys about Disney, because there's so much that we did, honestly, because we just, like I said, we had like a short amount of time that we had to do everything in, and we felt like we had to just do as much as we possibly could. So I don't know, I didn't ride a whole lot of rides. I'm not a ride person, just because I have anxiety, so things like that scare me. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I'm going to use the e.l.f. brow pencil. I was using this, and I took this with me on our trip. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise. This stuff is good, but it's bad. Like, if you use this, for me, I have to make sure I wipe off the bristles first, because I feel like it's a lot of product that comes out into the little spoolie. And then the spoolie itself, let me show you. The spoolie itself is shaped really, really strangely. Like, look at this. Like, look, it's like a paddle. It's just really interesting. I don't understand this thing. And do you see how wet that is? Like, if I try to go through my brows right now with that, like, I'd have a giant mess. So I'm not sure I like this. I'm trying to find like something to replace my Benefit, the brow product like this, like the brow, what is it called? Brow Wow. I have no idea what it's called, to be honest with you right now. But I'm tossing mine because Jen from Jen Loves Reviews did talk about how the product has something bad in it for you that's gonna, it's potentially bad for you, and it could potentially make you sick. So I was like, yeah, you're going to the trash now. I'm not using that anymore. Even though you guys know that was like my holy grail product. I love that so much, but it's not worth that. Makeup is not worth getting sick over, that's for sure. So I tossed it. Okay, so now I'm just going to feather this through my brows. This is the e.l.f. one. This is just a $2 pencil, so it's very affordable, very budget friendly. So I'm just gonna, I don't have to color them in too much, even though with my new hair color, I kind of feel like I should, because my new hair color is way too dark. I know I feel like I'm being a little dramatic about my hair color, but I just was so not ready to have my hair that dark. And I feel like it's still pretty dark right now, even with me trying to get some of the color out. I don't know. Hopefully I'll just wait a couple weeks and then I'll go back and have her put some highlights in, and then it'll be okay. I just don't want to do anything else to it right now, because I know like you shouldn't do too much to your hair all at one time, because I don't want to damage it. My hair isn't the best in the first place, so I don't want to damage my hair. So yes, I need to go back and have that fixed. Just not right now. So I'm just going to have to deal with it for now. But anyway, then the other hotel we stayed at was the Marriott. It's the World Hotel, I think it was called. It had this giant like water area. So like there was all these different pools. It had these giant slides. It was really, really nice. That was the one we had to meet all the people at for the, because this was technically a work family trip, because the first part we went down a little bit early and we were able to have a little bit of fun. The second part was business. So when we moved to the Marriott, we could do a little bit of things that are fun, but my husband, he had a lot to do with the door company that we own. So he was working with a lot of classes and things like that. And then of course we had some dinners that we went to. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or not, but I posted a picture where he won an award. So which I was so proud of him. And then we, because they had this big meeting there with all the different door members, they actually rented out part of Universal Studios for Friday night. I think it was Friday night. Yes, Friday night. They rented out part of Universal Studios for Friday night. So we had part of it shut down, and the only people that could be there were people from the door division. So that was really cool. I do say I really did enjoy that, especially when they had the characters coming out, and the characters were like, you could actually meet them very easily. Whereas like when you're going to the park and you're trying to meet a character and you're just by yourself, so hard because there's such long lines. I'm going to use this right here. This is the Rose Quartz. I'm going to use this just to highlight under my brow bone a little bit. And this is a Zoeva brush. This is a Zoeva 227 brush. It's not coming out very well right there, is it? Either it's the brush. I know it's not the product because I just used it on my other part of my eye, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Or maybe it's just showing up better than I think it is. But anyway. So yeah, that was really nice. That was pretty cool. So we were able to ride. I think they had 3 rides altogether that we could do. One was like this drop ride, and no, that was not happening. I was not riding on that. And then the other one was the Spider-Man ride. That was really cool. So that's kind of like a simulated ride. Those are my favorite. I like the simulated rides. I don't like roller coaster rides, especially when they do loops and things like that. Oh my gosh. I start to feel sick. No. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my under eyes. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Naked Skin. So yeah, I like the simulated rides. The other ride that was really, really fun that was a simulated ride was the Kong ride. For you guys, that was at Universal as well. But we didn't get that one. Like that wasn't one of the ones that we could use during that night. But that one is a really, really fun ride. I love that one. It's another simulated ride. Kinda. You do move, but most of it's like, I don't know. It's just, it makes it feel like you're doing a lot more than you actually are. So it's kind of simulated. So we're planning to go back again to Disney, and then we're going to probably do Epcot, and we're going to do Universal, because those were our absolute favorites from the, I think if we had younger children, then we probably would have loved some of the other ones. Like Animal Kingdom was really, really cool. No, that's one I haven't talked about yet. Animal Kingdom was really cool, except for we were going to go on the safari ride, and we were waiting in line, and then all of a sudden the person driving the vehicle, the big vehicle that you're supposed to get on, he like stops, and like he's stuck, like the thing broke down. So they had to bring in, after waiting for a while, they had to bring in a truck and actually like tow the truck out of there. It was really interesting. Now I'm going to use my Becca. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. I've been trying this out. I'm not sure that I like it. I don't know. I'm feeling very indifferent about it right now, to be honest with you. So I'm going to use this brush right here. This is the SL Miss Glam. This is the tapered brush. I don't like these brushes. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but like they're bleeding up and through here. Something is bleeding, and they're all doing that. Everyone that I've gotten from this collection, which is the Madison Miller collection, they're all bleeding up in here like that. And it's not like I've washed them badly or anything like that. I don't know why they're doing that. That's really odd. So I'm not too fond of those. So I'm going to tap this in with this brush. Whew, powder kick up. So I'm just going to set under here. I just don't know that I see a difference with the Becca product. I don't think that it's working any better, honestly, than my It Cosmetics, the Baba Pores. My Baba Pores, I ended up hitting pan on while we were on vacation, which was so exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, I hit pan. I have to take a picture. But anyway, the safari ride was really, really fun because you got to see all the animals and everything like that. But the only thing is I kind of like things like that, but at the same time, it makes me feel bad for the animals because they're like, I don't know. Do you guys feel that way? Like you want to see them, but at the same time, you're feeling bad for them? I don't know. Then I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara. I haven't tried this yet, so this will be a first impressions because I haven't tried this at all. Oof. The wand is really strange. It doesn't smell like anything, but the wand looks really interesting. It's really elongated, so we'll have to see. You guys know I'm not the best at mascara. That's okay. Oh man, I forgot to curl my lashes too. That's alright. We're just gonna roll with it anyway. We're just gonna roll with it. Uh-oh. See what I just did right there? Good job, Tiff. This is clumping together really bad right there. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but it's clumping. It looks really clumpy. Like it's giving me like maybe 5 or 6 lashes all at one time. I'm not sure I like this. Let me try it a different way. Let me kind of roll it up. I just got it on my eyelid. Good grief. I'm a disaster, guys. I'm a hot mess. Or I'm just a mess. Okay, this side's looking a little bit better because I'm taking my time a little bit more with it. But I'm like one of those, I like to just do my mascara very fast. That's probably why I always mess up on it though, even though I was going really slow here and I still messed up. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go back through and try to comb that out a little bit. I think it's just making it worse. Oh yeah, I don't like this mascara so far. First impressions, not so good. It really clumps. I don't like a clumpy mascara. I like lengthening and volumizing, and I just feel like it's just not doing much of anything of that in that nature. But like it's just getting very clumpy. So, not my favorite. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do blush. So the other thing at Animal Kingdom that we did was we did a boat tour thing. That was really cool. Except for my son got really annoyed with the person who was like driving the boat because he said her jokes were not funny. I was like, okay, buddy. So now I'm going to go in and use the Ofra. This is the Ofra blush palette. So I'm going to be using the shade right down here. The shade. I don't think they have shade names, which is unfortunate. I wish they would have shade names on them. But I just want something very natural looking. I'll clean my eyes up under there in a second because I know they look a little bit cruddy from my mascara application. So he didn't like her jokes, like I said, but I thought it was great because, like, again, it was another little exploration, but this here was more like they weren't real animals. They were just like fake things, but it was still fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It wasn't too hot either in Florida while we were there. So I think like the hottest day we had was like 90, which to me was like amazing because I am always cold. So for me, I was so happy to have some really warm weather. I feel like it was like like defrosting my bones from this Virginia cold weather. Hang on one second. I gotta grab a Q-tip here. And I didn't grab a highlight. I was hoping to get a new highlight in. It hasn't gotten here yet, so hopefully. My camera cut off. I'm not exactly sure where we cut off. I was getting ready to put highlight on. I'm using the Too Faced Blinded by the Light highlight, so put it on this cheek almost already. I didn't even see it. The camera cut off because I was so busy looking at the highlight. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to go on the other cheek and put it on. Oh, so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then I take it down my nose just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to tap back in and do right here. Kind of dust it along my lip line. Looking good. Looking good. My nose is like so stuffy. I'm sorry guys if I keep sniffling. I need to, is there a bronzer in here? Because I feel like I look a little pale. I think it's just my camera though, because in person I don't look that pale. There's a bronzer in there. Okay, so that's okay. We're just going to put a little bit more blush on. We'll blush it up. Blush her up. I love this blush brush. This is the Besame one. Oh my gosh, this is like so nice. I traveled with this one and it was amazing. Most of the things I'm using today is things that I actually traveled with. I didn't travel with the Ofra palette, the blush palette though, because I'm a little too big. Okay, now we clean this up, and then I need to fix any eye makeup that needs to be fixed from my so awesome job of doing mascara. Right here, like that. Alright, so now I'm going to go back into the Morphe palette, and I'm going to do some color underneath my eyes here first. So I'm going to use, I need to find a brush. Here we go. I need this one and I need this one. So the first one I'm going to use is this color right here. I'm going to use Rich Girl. I like this purple. So I'm just going to go, oh man, I didn't clean right there underneath my eye either. Where's my Q-tip? If you wait till the mascara dries, it comes off really easily. So wait and just use a Q-tip and then it'll just wipe right off. That's what I do when I make a boo-boo. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this purple here. Just as a contrasting color, a little bit different than what my eye look looks like. I know I didn't talk too much about the Disney trip. If you guys want to know anything else more about the Disney trip, let me know, because I feel like I was trying to talk about makeup and the Disney trip at the same time, and I was kind of getting off subject on both. So let me know if you want to hear more about it. Now I'm going to go into Rose Quartz and just take this on my finger right here and tap. And tap. I need a little bit more here. See how beautiful that looks if you just very lightly go in the inner corner? I love it like that. Now I'm going to, I forgot to do my other little trick, which is to take my IT Cosmetics brush. This is the, I don't even know what it's called. It's like the angled brush. I like to take that and then take the darkest color that's in my palette. So I'm going to use the Chocolate Diamond. I'm just going to tap into there with my brush. And I'm going to go right up underneath my lash line. And that'll help to make my lashes look a little more voluminous. I'm squinting a lot. Not liking putting this near my eye today. Okay, so that's how that turned out. Oops, I just dropped the brush on the floor. As far as lips goes, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face too. I'm almost out of this stuff and I really love it. Oh my gosh, this is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I heard so many people saying negative things about it. I was like, oh, it's not good. I'm not going to try it. And then when I got it myself and tried it, I was like, what? It's really good. I love it. Oh, I think we're at rock bottom here, guys. Nope, there's nothing in there and not enough to spray out. Darn it. Now I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus. This one's almost out too. I'm running out of setting sprays, guys. So we're going to go to one more. Where's the other one? I have another one out already. Here we go. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender. I'm just going to shake it up, give it a good shake. And I put a lot of setting spray on, guys. I like it because I feel like it helps to kind of melt my makeup in. I do got my little fan now. I can be a little bit more fancy when I help my makeup dry. This is a fan we actually picked up in Canada, believe it or not. Even though it is a Chinese fan, we picked it up in Canada. There was a, I don't remember what it was called, but it was something really cool we went to, and then we saw these fans and I was like, I want one of those. This is when we went to Canada last year. Oh, I just hit myself in the face with it. Okay, now I'm going to do my lips, and for lips is very simple today. I think my eye look needs a little bit more or something. That purple and the orange, I feel like we need some more drama in the crease. Let's put a little bit more drama in the crease. So I'm going to go in with the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just going to use the shade Chocolate Diamond again. Tap. And I'm going to just give it a little bit more drama in the crease here. In the outer V. That looks a little bit better. Look guys, I'm not a makeup artist. It's okay though. You guys don't, you understand, don't you? You're like, yeah, I know. We can tell. Okay. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I feel like that gives it a little bit more drama. I feel like it was just a little bit too light on the eyes. Now I'm going to use my Lipstick Queen in Frog Prints. I love this. It's green, right? It's going to warm up with your temperature of your body. Let's look at the mood rings. You see how pretty that looks? Maybe not with an orange eye. Maybe I probably should have done a different color with an orange eye, but that's all right. Now I've got to go do my hair and put my clothes on and get ready for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this little get ready with me, a little chat about Disney, talk about some of these new makeup products that I've been playing with so you guys can kind of see them in action. If you want to see a full review on any of these specifically, let me know, because I will be doing a review on the Tatcha for sure. I wasn't sure about the Morphe, if anybody would be interested in it, because there's so many different Morphe palettes, so I wasn't sure if anybody would be interested in that palette. Let me know if you are interested though, because I can totally do that. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want more information about Disney, because I'll be happy to do another video about Disney. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.